The world has known André Rieu as the king of waltz for a long time, but now his fame has been shaken by a shocking statement from his daughter. Is it about a family relationship that is over the top, or about the bad side of a famous performer's life? Let's look into this shocking statement, which should clear up any questions we still have and give us a whole new view of André Rieu. Stepdaughter says André Rieu's net worth is higher than expected. People have been interested in André Rieu's orchestra for a long time. The Dutch violinist is one of the biggest solo male touring acts in the world. He is bigger than both Bruce Springsteen and Coldplay. His shows have more people in them than Madonna and Beyoncé's. And 45 million copies of his records have been sold, making him the best-selling classical artist of all time. In 1987, just 14 players made up the first Johann Strauss Orchestra. As of now, it has 75 members and is the biggest private orchestra in the world. Nearly 60,000 people around the world are captivated by Rieu's amazing acts, especially his Christmas concert in Maastricht. Over 100,000 people from more than 80 countries came to the orchestra's 30th anniversary party, which was a huge success. His stepdaughter just recently told the public about the orchestra's pay structure and the huge financial power that is behind this classical music phenomenon. Rieu's sister said that the musician's wealth is much greater than most people think. The King of Waltz has made a lot of money, which shows that classical music can be very popular when played in new ways. Even more so in a field that often has trouble making money. Several reliable sites say that André Rieu's net worth is a huge $40 million. He is now one of the richest classical singers in the world thanks to this huge sum. Even so, his wealth is impressive, because he made it in a business where many orchestras are having trouble making ends meet, because costs keep going up and earnings keep going down. He had some rough spots on his way to becoming wealthy. At one point, he almost opened a pizza place where he planned to sing to customers while they ate. His ambitious $24 million plan to build a fairy tale castle for his concert in Schönbrunn, Vienna, in 2008 put him suddenly out of money. Even with these setbacks, Rieu's strength showed through. He lost around £30 million on a tour of Australia when he learned that selling CDs doesn't always mean selling tickets. But does it matter where 30 million is? News sources say he kept happy, kept going, and earned it all back, and then some. His niece told him that Rieu and his wife Marjorie handle their money in a strange way. Instead of planning how to handle their fortune, they spend their savings on family and friends right now. It is clear what Rieu thinks about retirement. I can't picture my life without music. It looks like the words retirement and quit my job are not in my personal dictionary. Stepdaughter shows how hard the tour plan really is. The daughter of Marjorie has found her place in the family business. Pierre is more public than she is because he talks for the company a lot. She and her mother help run the business. Because she is involved, it shows that Rieu makes a place where family ties strengthen business ones. In 1988, there were only 12 players in the orchestra. Now, there are 60 musicians. It can hold up to 75 artists for big shows. This growth fits with Rieu's business philosophy that classical music doesn't have a set audience or limits. It's written for all of us. Rieu and his family have made traditional music more varied. A blue ocean of new market is what business experts call what they did. Less people are going to traditional orchestras, and their prices keep going up. Rieu's method combines traditional family business ideals with new ways to have fun. This mix has created a worldwide music company that does well on its own. André Rieu's unending foreign tours are what make him rich. Up until now, no one really knew how hard it was on the body behind all the glitz and glamour. Recent talks with his stepdaughter show what life on the road is really like for the old maestro and his hard-working musicians. At 75 years old, Rieu keeps up a concert schedule that would be hard for musicians half his age. Rieu has said, "Playing music on stage for 3 hours with all my heart is like playing sports at the highest level." After between 70 and 100 shows a year, his body has to deal with a lot of tough situations. The things his stepdaughter said about his health make him think a lot about his upcoming trips. It was too much to handle to go on a Mexican tour because of the long trip. It takes 14 hours to fly to Mexico City, which is 7 hours earlier in the winter, and the city is 2,240 meters above sea level. He got the flu really badly and didn't have time to get used to it, so he had to leave early for home. Her thoughts about his most recent efforts were scary. He was scared he wouldn't be able to hold on because his legs were shaking. She told others what Rieu had to say. "I no longer wish to subject myself to that pain. We're not sure if he can keep moving at this speed. The musician now knows that he needs to work with what his body can do. If I want to do this for a long time, I need to keep paying attention to my body." Everyone in the group had trouble with altitude sickness. In the past few days, all of us have had a lot of nosebleeds. But Rieu's age makes these problems even tougher. Rieu built a huge business around classical music. André Rieu's huge business company is based on 4 main ways to make money. First, there are his tours that break records and events that are some of the world's most popular. By making $550 million in 2018, he was the most successful classical singer in Billboard's history. In that one year, his North American tour brought in 436,604 people and made more than $46 million. He has also sold a lot of albums. More than 40 million CDs and DVDs have been sold around the world. When his first album, Strauss Company, came out in 1994, it became a big hit, selling more than 500 platinum and 270 gold copies. The rights to show his concerts all over the world are also very profitable, and live TV shows often break box office records. In 2015 and 2016, his yearly concerts in Maastricht brought in more than $1 million in a single night, making them the most successful film events of the year. Lastly, Rieu is different from many classical artists because he has his own recording studio, production company, events company and costume design studio. Pierre, his son, is now the vice president of the company. In the classical music business, Rieu has made what business experts call a blue ocean. He has changed the market borders between pop concerts and classical concerts to make a lot of new demand. He doesn't try to compete with standard orchestras. Instead, he combines classical skill with entertainment value. In 1988, there were only 12 people in the Johann Strauss Orchestra. Over time, it grew to be the biggest private ensemble in the world. Over 110 people work full-time for Rieu, and another 100 do contract work. Someone who is close to Rieu says that what makes him unique is his unwavering commitment to making traditional music that everyone can enjoy, not just the elite. This way of thinking helps him reach people who aren't usually interested in classical music, like the cleaning lady and the professor. Rieu went from being a struggling artist to a multimillionaire by combining his musical skills with his business sense. He has made so much money that it's more than Johann Strauss's Roman II, a famous musician that he really admires. Members of the orchestra tell their niece how much they really make. The pay system of the Johann Strauss Orchestra has finally been made public by André Rieu's stepdaughter. Her explanation gives us a unique look into one of the most popular private music groups in history. Every month, Rieu needs about $1 million just to pay his staff. The orchestra has 110 full-time employees and about 100 volunteers. Putting this much money into musical talent is a big deal. It costs $1 million a month just to pay everyone. And that's not even counting the tours. When we go on tour, it costs even more. Rieu has said that this fact about money is why he once said that his orchestra was a very expensive hobby. The Johann Strauss Orchestra gives extra money to musicians who give great shows, as Rieu's stepdaughter told them. This bonus method helps musicians compete with each other in a healthy way. Recording events are an extra way to make money. When musicians play on Rieu's records, like the newest Jewels of Romance collection, they get paid extra. It costs about $350 to record a symphony orchestra for 3 hours, plus profits every year. This payment method was put to the test like never before during the pandemic. Rieu stayed true to his promise to his players, though. "I'd rather sell my Stradivarius to get by for a few more months than fire a group member." The Dutch government stepped in to help and paid 80% of the pay in set amounts for costs. Because of this help, no one lost their job. As part of their tours, musicians get private hotel rooms with 1 bed and a $60 plus daily food budget. These perks help them deal with the physical challenges of long stages. Tours are what keep Rieu's business going. As with many top American bands, the members of this orchestra also have great chances to improve their careers. They can use online learning tools, webinars, and get help with technology. When live performances weren't possible, these tools were very helpful. Because of these great perks, musicians really want to join Rieu's orchestra. The job is still popular in the classical music world, even though it requires a lot of work and includes long international tours. There are more events at Maastricht Castle than just music. André Rieu's Maastricht Castle, known as de Torrent's Small Towers, is proof of his success and the center of his music business. In September 1999, he paid about $1.9 million USD, or 1458, 459 UR, for this ancient building. The house has become both his crown jewel and a major expense. Building on de Torrent began in 1452 ***. During the 1600s, 1700s, and 1800s, new parts of the castle were added. Rieu continues this practice of building and fixing up buildings that goes back hundreds of years. The soft stone outside of the castle needs constant care. The building is made of soft stone, so I have to fix up the whole thing. But as soon as I finish fixing up one half, I have to start all over again. Rieu says he is fixing the other half. The costs of maintaining this medieval farm are very high. A group of stonemasons is working on the outside walls, which are made of marble that was found nearby. Because the castle is a state monument, N.R. North Carolina's State Monument 6212 and 22,963. 1. Which means that all repairs have to follow strict rules for preservation, which makes the costs go up. There are secret rooms and treasures inside. The castle's long past makes it interesting beyond its impressive exterior. The kitchen is very important, because it was built in 1452. Darth Agnan, a real musketeer, is said to have eaten his last breakfast here before he died in the siege of Maastricht in 1673. The building has an interesting mix of old and new features that people can enjoy. The long meeting table in the east wing is next to a fireplace, and the dike was mostly brown. On the west side, two salons that are connected show a brighter style with Austrian, Bavarian, and Venetian elements. André made most of it himself. Another treasure may be hidden in the house. Someone's neighbor discovered 346 gold coins and 1,611 silver coins from a long time ago under their basement stairs. While work was being done on Rieu's street, an underground limestone wall, drainage gutters, stone features, and two pieces of a gravestone from 1734 were found. Things like this are what I love. Proof of an early sandstone pit on the hill where Rieu's castle sits. As they dug, they found the remains of a train track and a small tunnel. These finds give us a taste of what might still be under the violinist's land. Rieu's favorite butterfly room in the orangery is one of the castle's well-known wonders. There are 10 different kinds of butterflies that come from Nicaragua in cocoons and live there. There are also interesting items from other places in the building, including carved wainscoting from Maastricht's Our Dear Lady Church from the 18th century and piers from the old House of States. The castle's upper floors are where the core team of 20 employees lives. The fact that it is both a working center and a historical site that needs constant care shows the highs and lows of May's amazing musical career. How does André Rieu run his huge business company around the world? Behind every great performance by the Johann Strauss Orchestra is a business that runs smoothly. André Rieu has gone from being a talented musician to a world businessman thanks to this deal. The business stays in the family and comes up with a new way to do business that is different from what other companies do. This is André Rieu Productions BVRA, is run like a real family business. It is completely owned by André and his wife Marjorie. Rieu can keep artistic control over his entertainment empire because he owns it. Pierre, their youngest son, is vice president of André Productions and makes a lot of important business choices. As an artist, Marc, the oldest son, also works as a creative advisor and adds value here. The family method is more than just owning something. André's wife of almost 50 years, Marjorie, helps him plan tours, create sets and costumes, and choose venues. When they work together, their artistic vision and business sense easily fit together. Rieu's official history was written by Marjorie and is put out by the company itself. Rieu's business plan is unique because it works by itself. The group has its own office and places to practice close to Maastricht. It has a travel section that sells hotel packages for shows and does all of its own publishing. They even make their own TV shows in-house. Own cameraman, own sound people, André Rieu says. We make the product ourselves and only show our work. This level of control over processes shows that the business has a clear plan. Martha Ann Graflin, who used to be the US financial head, said, "That's typical André. Rieu is very careful about quality control. He pays local union members to do nothing in New York, where music venues only work with unions. This makes sure that his workers take care of the building, lights and sound." The company has 125 full-time employees, both on and off stage. A lot of employees,